feel it? Feel tired? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. On the inside there, you know, if he's holding both sides, remember, use those legs to kind of get it off there. Yeah, you can float around, you can move, you can fucking push in on him if you want, like whatever, you know.
Man, so I remember watching, like, the first fight that I ever took in was a Roy Jones fight. You know what I mean? I was at my the other side of my family's back in Toronto and everything like that, and you know, we was watching pay-per-view, and man, I feel like I was maybe like 7 or 8 years old, and just watching how Roy Jones was moving and everything like that, like I just fell in love with it. You know what I mean? Like, I fell in love with the art, the science of it. You know what I mean? How he was using his feet. Throughout my whole life, I felt like boxing, I was always surrounded by it. You know, when I first came in, I thought, I was like, oh, like these are the sharks. And then there were other sharks as well, like, you know what I mean? The actual competitive boxers. Whew. Yo, it was a hell of an experience. You know, it forced me to face my fears, because I think one of the big things was, at the time, before I had even started competing, it was definitely nerve-wracking about stepping in there with somebody who knows what they're doing, and you're just banging. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for me, like, I'm just going on raw instinct. Most notably, I remember, like, genuinely my first hard session, where I went with this young boxer at our gym at the time, who had been training with my trainer now for, I want to say, about a year or so beforehand. And yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like, I remember he was lighting my ass up. Like, yo, he was really putting it to me. Like, he was really putting the work on. And I put him on my blacklist, matter of fact. And I said, yo, one day I'm gonna get it back. And all I did, yo, was train. Through injuries, through adversity, everything I experienced up until that point. And when we finally met again, I promise you, not only did I get my lick back, I grew. That just continued on. That mentality has continued on and on and on and on and on and on. So it's like, you know, in the gym now, being at 10-8, it's like, you know, my competitive nature has taken over the fact that it's like, yo, anytime I go in there with somebody, my mind is set on, like, you know, like, the moment you say something to me that I treat as out of line, I'm not gonna take it personally in the sense where I have something against you. That being said, it's like, yo, like, I have a dog on my tail. So it's like, now I gotta work.
As far as I remember it, it was like, you know, I was just chilling here. He showed up probably at like, you know, 3:30 or 4, something like that. And he was way bigger than he is now. He was like, he looked like a football player, you know? Yeah, he definitely looked like a football player. And he said he wanted to box. As far as I knew, he didn't really have any boxing experience, you know? But you could kind of get the vibe that he was like a fighter, you know, mentally. He was really trying to learn it correctly and do it correctly, you know? And then he would come back with it just as good or better, you know, than when he left. So that allows you to keep going. For a while, he was pretty much here every day. You know, we would just focus on footwork. The defense was first, pretty much. We would have everyone else in the gym just, you know, throw punches at him, and he would just be trying to work different styles of defense. Yeah, or like one specific thing, you know, he would do that, and you add a couple more things. Yeah, so he was learning quick, you know.
I was at another gym, and it's like, I want to say I didn't even take boxing that seriously, and this is before, you know, I was actually competing. I found myself in a position of which boxing at the time, without even realizing it was my life. I didn't treat it as such. You know, my behavior and my decision making. Now it's like it's getting serious. I show up and, I'm getting into my workout. I'm doing my little thing. I'm shadowing this, that, the third. I'm warming up. And then one of the competitive team boxers who runs at the front desk comes over to me and he says, "Yo, Cam, you're on the blacklist." It's like a lifetime ban, pretty much. That really got me, because that's when I really realized, like, oh, the dream was dead. For me personally, like, I get completely hyper-focused in that ring. I hear everything going on around me. That being said, I'm just listening to what's in front of me. So it's like I go into a whole nother zen. Like I'm just completely focused, I'm completely locked in. There's no distractions, I'm ever so present, you know what I mean? And like nothing can shake me off of that. I didn't ever actually dive into boxing myself until later on. That being said, it was almost something that I couldn't run from. And at some point in my life, when I was going through my own trials and tribulations, I met a wise man. And it was like, he was kind of like giving me 2 ultimatums in life, you know what I'm saying? It was almost like he was a guardian angel telling me like, you got this path, you got that path. Like, what are you gonna do? Cause like, it's right in front of you. The irony of it is like, he would always say to me, he's like, I don't like stupid. I don't like stupid. It was almost to remind me like, like, you're smarter than you acknowledge yourself to be. You know what you should be doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what your purpose is in life, and shoot, like, fuck it. Like, I'm just gonna dive head in, and you know what I mean? And see where it goes. And from that point on, I just let boxing have my soul to keep.
Hella stuck at the state that I'm in. Pistol tucked, I can't wait to get in. Switching up wasn't meant to be friends. Just hope I ain't really gotta go through that again. But remember that the sun's still out for the cloudy days. And the earth needs water, so it's gotta rain. You wanna put the past aside. It took courage for this friendship like Matt and Ty. And every time you wave, girl, man, I pass the tie. It's unfortunate we couldn't see eye to eye, but they call you crazy once they push you past the line. A lot of y'all ain't tuned to my sight. It'll all end when I come like internet sites. Mega giga, we all know that memories bite. Despite you don't listen enough. I saw a future with us, now you blinded my ocular. But I see how you are, no synergy in my chakra. Need me a doctor or a way out the system. Listen, Ash, I feel like I'ma crash. Got a ticket on the dash and I just ran out of cash. Might rewind winter so these niggas can fall back. Just cut off my phone so these bitches won't call back. All black to the soul, love life took a toll. Sweating out, drip and go, need a girl, Lord knows. I'm just trying to shoot for real, yeah, I've been on some next shit. But where the bitch at with the code for my Netflix? I wanna buy my whole team watches so they know we after hours. I done cried some real tears, I forecasting scattered showers. All that being said, I got God on my team. I'm just saying it's all angel, ultralight beams don't come between me and my don't come between me and my. Yeah, me and my, don't come between me and my.